Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How are you today? Hopefully you guys in a good healthy and good mood too. We are from group 4 and here we want to give an explanation about describing language part 2. Alright, our member is Agest Kholifasari, second is Annisa Nuansa Indah, and last but not least is Pricilla Cecil Leander. Alright, let's we start it. For the first is describing language. And here you can see the design of factor affecting ESP course. So that have three parts. For the first is what, for the second is who, where, where and when. For the last is home. Alright, for the first is what. What is like we as a teacher must know about the materials, about the point that we want to serve to the learners. For the example is about language description. So language is an analysis and describing how language is actually used. So as the teacher, we must know about what is language description and we share to our learners so the learners know about language description. Okay. For the second is about who, where, where and when. It's look like analysis. Analysis. So, analysis here looks like the learner need to do in order to communicate effectively. So, as a teacher, we must analyze about the language description and we analyze about what the learners need, like maybe materials, like our media, PowerPoint, or in focus, like that. So, the learners can more easier to get what the meaning of our materials. Alright, for the last is how. How here looks like a learning theories, or we can say in other words like learning methods. And here help us as a teacher when we teach in the class and give like methods. So in the class we can know about what we gonna do. So as a teacher we don't get confused in the class and as a learner they can get what the means easier with our analysis and method. So, three of factor affecting SP, it's make an infinity line. If you miss one of them, the learners can get a little bit confused. For example, if you don't know about the materials, so how the learners can get the materials? Yeah, if you don't know about the point, so how the learners get the point? Example, if you miss how or learning methods, you know about the materials. You have analyzed the material, but you don't know how to give explanation about the material. So how your student can know about the material if you don't have the method? Yeah, so three parts of this make infinity line. You must know and you must do all the thing of that. For the next step is language variations. Language variation help to distinguish one person or group of people from other when they use language as a means of communication. In this video, I have two examples of language variation. So for the first have a paragraph and for the second is have a procedure text. Here we can know that language have much variation. For example, paragraph. In a paragraph, the writer can know about what happening and the writer can write what happening, what she feel, what he feel, what's going on. So the reader can know about what happening. Alright, for the second is about procedure text. The writer write step by step. For example, making a cup of coffee, like so. The reader can know how to make cup and how to make a coffee in a cup. Okay, for the next slide, Cecil, Pricilla, Cecil, Leander, is your turn.
Alright, next we have register analysis. So, register analysis is a kind of language variation which can vary from minute to minute in the same day. From other description, register analysis, for example, from the concept of ESP. The main purpose is for science differs. So here we have the example of register analysis for science differs. So you guys can take a look on this. It's about a medicine composition and how to use it. So it's about paracetamol tablets. There's a variation language in here, different from what we know in daily lives, because it's purposely for pharmacy, for the medicine. So the language used to be different in here. Because register analysis, the main purpose of register analysis is to separate or a language that can vary from minute to minute. That's the register analysis. For the next one, we have functional notional grammar. So the notional functional approach in English as a second language or English as a foreign language is a way of structuring a syllabus around notions, real-life situations, in which people communicate, which are further broken down into functions, specific aims of communication. So here's the difference between function and notions. So functions concerned with social behavior and represent the intention of the speaker or writer. Notions, it is a concept of idea that reflect the way in which the other man thinks. So the function is more specifically for the social behaviors, different from the notions that what we say is it is what it is, what the man it thinks, and that's the answer. For example, in here, the teacher say to the student, "It's hot in this room." For national answer, the temperature is 32. For the functional answer, it's a request switch on the fan. So the functional is more likely purpose their or he or she social behavior. Next example, the teacher, "Why are you late?" National answer, the student, "There was a traffic jam." It is what it is. That's what happened to the student. But for the functional answer, it is an apology because he or she is late. So yeah, it's more likely for the social behavior that the students must apologize to the teacher because they are late. That's the functional notional grammar. For the next one, we have functional notional grammar. So the notional functional approach in English as a second language or English as a foreign language is a way of structuring a syllabus around notions, real-life situations, in which people communicate, which are further broken down into functions, specific aims of communication. So here's the difference between function and notions. So functions concerned with social behavior and represent the intention of the speaker or writer. Notions, it is a concept of idea that reflect the way in which the other man thinks. So the function is more specifically for the social behaviors, different from the notions that what we say is it is what it is, what the man it thinks, and that's the answer. For example, in here, the teacher say to the student, "It's hot in this room." For national answer, the temperature is 32. For the functional answer, it's a request switch on the fan. So the functional is more likely propose their or he or she social behavior. Next example, the teacher, why are you late? National answer, the student, there was a traffic jam. It is what it is. That's what happened to the student. But for the functional answer, it is an apology because he or she is late. So, yeah, it's more likely for the social behavior that the students must apologize to the teacher because they are late. That's the functional notional grammar.
For the next is discourse rhetorical analysis. The word discourse comes from Latin discourses, which denoted conversation and speech. For example, sermon, argument, jokes, narrative, novel, short story, discourse of peace, discourse of food, medical discourse, and so on. Discourse analysis or discourse studies is sometimes defined as the analysis of language above the sentence or beyond the sentence. It is an approach to this analysis of written, vocal, or sign language use, or any significant semiotic event. Some discourse analysis consider the large discourse context in order to understand how it affects the meaning of the sentence. The objects of discourse analysis are variously defined in terms of coherent sequences of sentence, propositions, speech, and others. The example of discourse rhetorical analysis. If we take the simple sentence, it is raining, and we put it into 3 different dialects, we can see how the meaning changes. First dialect, child, can I go out to play? Mother said, it's raining. And second dialect, wife, have you cut the grass yet? And then husband said, it's raining. And the last dialect, John, I think I'll go out for a walk. And then Mary said, it's raining. In each case, the prepositional meanings or statement of the sentence is the same. The notions in it are also the same. Present time, neither, but the sentence is fulfilling 3 different communicative purposes. In the first dialogues, a parent could be talking to a child. The child is asking permission to go out. The parent's reply of it is raining acts as a refusal of the request. The second dialogue might be a husband or wife dialogue. It is raining. Now function as a reason or an excuse. In the third dialogue, it takes on yet other function, and this time is probably acting as advice or a mild warning and might take place between friends. There are 2 factors some sentences have different meaning. The first is the sociolinguistic context, who is speaking to whom and why. The meaning changes according to the relationship between the participant in the dialogue and according to their reason for speaking. And the second is the relative utterance within the courses. An utterance acquires meaning by virtue of what utterance it precedes or follows. We might call this the discoursal meaning. And for example, if we take the third dialogue above and turn the 2 utterance around, we get it's raining. I think I'll go out for a walk. In this example, rain is the reason in favor of going out for walk. Discourse analysis has been closely associated with ESP. We can identify two key ways in which the result of studies into the nature of discourse have been used in ESP teaching materials. 1. Learners are made aware of the stage in certain set-piece transaction associated with particular specialist field. And the second, use of discourse analysis in SB has been through materials which aim to explain how meaning is created by the relative position of the sentence in a writing text.
So the last is conclusion. The conclusion, language is what enables people to articulate things, ideas, and attitudes, and honestly be able from and to transmit the result to other people. So that's all from our group. I'm so sorry for our mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.